Welcome back to ABC Scripture Doodles. Grab your art supplies or your iPad and let's get started. So today we're doing letter Q, quiet. Be still and know I am God. Psalm 46:10. I hope that you carve out some quiet time every morning. It's up to you what time of day it is that you decide to do it, but morning is such a great time it's just a great way to start your day. And just to set aside, 15 minutes even. Grab a little devotional off of the Bible app. There's many to pick from, and then you can get started. And in 5, 10, 15 minutes, you'll have your time with God and just start the day off right. Okay, so have your quiet time. And while I'm thinking about it, if you stick with me to the end, you're going to get a template for a box to make your card deck. Ignore the fan that's blowing on me. I need it. I'm in Texas. It's still hot here. It's still warm. It's in September. Okay, so today I'm going to share a little bit more on the iPad that I've shown. So for my tribe members, they get a template on how to be able to trace my lettering. And so I wanted to show how to put that into Procreate. And so what you'll do is you'll just go up here to the wrench and you will click on add right here under actions and then insert a photo. So you will have saved the template from our group in your iPad as a photo. And so you're going to insert a photo. I'm going to grab it, pull it in, and there it is right there. And so all you have to do to trace is turn down the opacity. So click on that layer, whatever the blue box is, that's what layer you're working with. There's a letter N right here. Turn it down to about 25%. It doesn't have to be exact, just enough to where you can still see it, but it's light. Okay. And the next really important thing that you want to do, because you don't want to write on this template, right? You want to write on its own layer. So we're going to add a layer, and that's where you hit this little plus sign right here. And you'll see a blank box, and that means there's nothing there. What you're going to start writing on right now has nothing on it, okay? Okay, so grab your art supplies, and if you are going to kind of do what I'm doing, I would take an erasable pen or a pencil to do this part. And if you're on the iPad, just grab your favorite brush. Mine is dry ink under inking, and let's get started. So if we're going to start with the word quiet first. Oops, my brush is way too big. I want to turn it down. Way too big. There we go. Perfect. This brush is pressure sensitive, so when I press down, it makes a thicker line. And when I lift up, it makes a thinner line. Oh, don't forget this little tail. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is make a line next to all the downstrokes. I'm going to turn my brush down a little bit for this. So this is a downstroke. That means I'm going down. I'm going to go down here. And this, I added a little swirly do because that looks fun, right? There's a downstroke. I even like doing the little eye here, adding a little something there. Okay, so there we have quiet. The next thing I'm going to do is go down to the scripture, and we're going to write that next. I'm going to make a new layer because it's easy to manipulate and move things around if you do things on separate layers. Layers are your best friend. They're very, very important. Okay, be still. This is such a short one and such a good one. It's easy to memorize. Be still. And tracing this is so good for your muscle memory. You're learning so much more than you realize you're learning. And no, and I'm doing no in all caps, bold, I am God. And this G, you can pretend like it's a capital G because that's just what the font looks like. Okay, be still and know that I am God. So that's our second step. The third step is to write out the scripture reference. And I'm going to do that on a separate layer too, because that way I can move it around if I need to. And I'm stretching out. I'm just stretching. Imagine I wrote the word Psalm and I pulled it and I was stretching it apart, making it skinny. You know that, what was that? Growing up, if you're my age or maybe a little bit older too, there was was it Stretch Armstrong? And you could stretch him and he would just stretch out. He was like a rubber little toy is what it was. Pretend like you're doing that. Psalm. And I'm just stretching it as I go. 46, 10. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that hair. If you're watching and you're just watching and you're not doing, it's probably driving you crazy, but I'm telling you, I'm so happy to have my fan going. Okay. Now, so we have those 3 steps, and the last step is to do a doodle, some kind of doodle. It doesn't matter. Like if you're drawing on paper, you could do a cross or a heart, or I'm doing a Bible. And so, but I have like a sneaky way to add my Bible very easily and quickly, and that is by using a digital stamp. And if you haven't seen me use the digital stamps yet, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on my brushes, and I'm looking for the Scripture Doodle stamp set that I have for sale. If you're interested in it, you could draw out what you want on here, but if you're interested in trying this out, it's really fun. So there's a lot of different stamps in here that I'm looking through, and this one is the Bible with cross. This is just an open Bible. This one's the Bible with cross, and that's the one I use. So I'm going to tap that, and as soon as I tap that, I want to make sure I'm on another layer, a new layer, because I might want to move it. For example, say I tapped it right here, and I want it to move over, so I would just move it over. And maybe I want to make it a little bit smaller. And there it is. So I have it where I want it. Now, while we're here, we still need to trace the template. You need to be able to have a box around it. So let's make sure we're on an empty layer. I just put one down at the bottom. And then I'm going to draw my rectangle. Now, if you already had the template, I did give you a template for that that's separate where you don't have to draw it. You can use that too, but I'm just going to show you what I would do. I'm just making lines. And I'm holding it straight. When you hold it straight like that, it takes a wiggly line and turns it into something straight. See? Just like that. And one more. And one thing I have to make sure that I do is make sure all the lines are connected. And I can see one is not connected. And I'll show you what happens if it's not. I'm going to take off the template in the background. Okay. But now right here, there's a little bitty hole, but I couldn't tell when I was here. I was like, oh, it looks good. And when you go to add your color, look what happens. It colors the entire page, and we don't want that to happen. So I'm going to go back. I want to make sure that I connect these lines. Now, there's other ways that can happen as well, but that is one of the most common. And sometimes it'll sneak out depending on what kind of brush you use. It could sneak out. Oh, look, this one's like that too. Yeah, I didn't notice that. But it happens a lot. And some of these lines are not well connected. So, okay, and the other ones are connected there. Now, while I'm here, to make it easy, I could take that rectangle and duplicate it and then move it over for my next box. Okay, just so you know, that's easy. So easy. But let's go ahead and add color here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that square, that rectangle, and I'm going to drop my color in there. Okay. So let me see if I can find my color palette real quick. Here it is. Okay. So this is a color palette I've been working out with through the whole thing. It's what makes it cohesive. It's what makes it going to be a set. This, if you went to a store and you bought a card deck, it would all have the same colors in it. So it would be in a family. It would look good. If not, you might not buy it because you'd be like, I don't get the connection here. Okay, so I'm going to take this light pink color and I'm going to drop it in. Now, it went everywhere. I wonder why. Because I have it on the wrong layer. Okay, so let's back up and let's look. What layer am I on? Okay, I'm in a box. That should be right? I'm going to uncheck that box and look, it was this box. I don't want that box right now. I'm going to the other box. the box that is the one I'm working on. And I'm going to drag and drop color in there just like that. So easy. And now if I want to add more color, I want to keep in mind, I'm going to add a layer because I want to highlight some of the words. So I'm just going to pick some random colors. Be still. Still is a word that I wanted to highlight. Be still and know. I'm going to pick another color from my family here. I am God. And it's really all totally up to you what you highlight. But this, if you're doing it on paper, you'll be using your markers and you'll be highlighting this. I am God. And let's see, what do I want to do for God? This is on its own layer though, so I can take it off. If I think, I don't know, maybe I don't want that, then you just click on that layer. And that's why we do layers. That's why we have to have layers. Okay. Now I want to add color to the Bible. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to the layer that has the Bible on it. And I'm going to use that light pink as a white. And then I'm going to use this teal as the outside of the Bible. Like so. And then I could do the cross a different color too. How about I do it orange? Like so. Okay. And then if I want to, I can go up to the quiet one. Go that layer. And then maybe I want to add. And at this point, if you're happy where everything is and you want to combine it onto one layer, you can do that. That's totally up to you. And the way you do that is you just squeeze like that. So that means they're all on one layer, right? Okay. So I'm doing quiet. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to get that light pink again. And I'm just coloring in the parts where I made the line, that extra line there. And if you touch the wrong thing, that will happen. But you might have to zoom in too to just get right where you want it. And then if it's too skinny right there, you can go behind it and make a new layer and just color behind it like that. Okay, there we go. That is how simple it can be to do your artwork on the iPad. If you're doing it with markers, then now since we've added the color, you can go ahead and trace with a black marker on top and you'll be finished too. I hope y'all have a blessed week. Next week, we are doing letter S, R, Q, R, P, Q, R, letter R. What do you think R is going to be? I don't know. You'll have to tell me in the comments.